Welcome into another episode of Morning Edition. Julian Tedor, Andy Satowski, Ted Phaeton here. And guys, for the first time, I believe, in our lifetime, we are headed back to the moon. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here. Look at this. Come on. How exciting.
3, 2,
This is really cool.
Right?
I love it.
And lift off.
just
The
thinking
crew of
the
Artemis II
Stevens
now
episode,
bound for the moon.
In 1969. We're not landing on the moon.
Right.
We are going past it, going around it, not in the Earth's orbit, and coming back to Earth. They're going to splash down in the ocean, a 10-day mission. But it's really cool. We had Maykay on this morning giving us some of the breakdown and the stats of everything. They're traveling at like 25,000 miles per hour, which I don't think it's ever clicked in my brain for me.
Just how fast?
Of just how fast. When you, I could hear that and not actually contemplate, oh yeah, that's so fast. Of course they have to blast off into space, but it just gives you a whole new perspective of what astronauts are actually going through.
Ted is pining to get in here.
He's like, wait, Andy, stop talking. Stop touching.
You said 25,000 miles per hour, so that's to get full of.
Yeah.
That's really how fast. 250,000 miles.
Come on now.
I don't know if I've traveled 2,000 miles in my lifetime.
Probably not. I wonder, we can maybe, Ted, you Google, because you have the thing. How many times around the Earth is that?
Why?
While you do that.
Well, the crazy thing, I think, is not just the fact that we're heading to the moon, but what comes next, right? This is, as Maykay said, this is kind of a test run.
Yeah.
Because what comes next is a moon base.
Yes.
Which just feels even wild. We're going to put a base on the moon?
It sounds...
To set us up to go to Mars?
It sounds so Hollywood, right? But
real?
when you think about it, I was thinking today when she was talking, I said, who's the first person that said, hey, you see the moon up there? And everyone's like, yeah. They're like, we should go touch it. We should go put our feet on it. I don't know. But it takes minds like that to say, what if we did this? And then to figure out how to actually do it. That's not my forte at all. I think that's amazing.
So the answers come in. The
Okay.
circumference of the Earth is about 10 over.
Okay.
Not amazing, but just piggybacking off of what you guys are talking about, looking to colonize the moon. I had the thought this morning, and sure, I realize I'm kind of the outlier of the group oftentimes, but I laughed and I actually got excited because I realized that it's not that crazy. It's still a crazy thought, but it's not that crazy of a thought to think I may see the moon in my lifetime. If I hit all my goals and when I retire and my kids are grown.
Yeah, you're going to go to the moon base?
Are you going to the moon?
The moon lounge?
If God gives me 60 plus years on this earth, 30 years from now, if they're like, oh, it's $100,000 to go to the moon, I'm emptying my life savings. I'm like, baby, I'll be back in 3 weeks.
You're not taking Jess with you?
If she wants to come, of course I'll take her with me.
Okay.
But something tells me she's going to want to keep her feet here on
Firmly
Earth.
on
But
planet Earth.
by then, we jump on a plane, no problem, right? By then, it'd be routine to go to the moon, right?
In 30 years, do you think it's going to be routine to go to the moon?
Well, Savannah pointed this out. She said, if you think about the history between space travel and air travel, not that different. We're shooting astronauts into the International Space Station all the time. So space travel and air travel is not that different in terms of the longevity of history. It's just going to the moon is something new to us right now.
I think because it's the cost, right?
Cost.
That's what
it
is.
Did you say 70 billion or
I think it was 7
for the
billion.
moon base? I think it was 70
moon
for the
base.
moon base.
Yeah.
Not for for the rocket. That's still in the billions.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's
Beyond my paycheck, I'll put it that way.
is the base. My turn to ask the Google machine.
What do we got, Annie?
20 billion.
20 billion for the moon base.
20 billion. And as we all know, it's not going to be $20 billion. It's going to be like
yeah, it's
30
gonna go
billion.
way over.
So over budget,
100%.
but worth it to get it right.
Yes.
Can we invest? Like, I got 5 on it.
Right.
$5, not $5 billion.
Yeah, there you
go.
I guess
Let me dig around in my pockets and see what I can give.
0.00001 of whatever it is. That's how much $5
But
would
if
get you.
everyone did it,
I'm just saying. Yeah, send back a little stone and be like, baby, look, I told you I'd get you the moon.
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's sweet.
You know, the sad thing is,
What
I feel like the way
anniversary
that way that like the world works, there will be some sort of like get moon rock or something like that. You know, be able to own your portion of the moon.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't put it past it. I don't know. I just think it's wild. It feels like it feels significant, but also it feels like almost like I guess we've been to space so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it has the same sort of impact that it did for like our parents, right?
Yeah.
We talk about Apollo and landing on the moon, like that was huge, right? You're racing the Soviet Union, you're in the middle of the Cold War. And for us, it's like, yeah, it's really cool. Artemis is going to the moon, but like, we've been there. We've done that.
Yeah.
We're going back now. When they put a base on there,
That's going to be...
that I feel like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like,
Yeah.
yes, it was the most watched, but also compared to what the people were watching on when it came to Apollo,
Mhm.
you had the TV and that was it.
Yep.
So you could stream and everything like this now. So the numbers are kind of skewed. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, do you feel it is as culturally significant? Or do you kind of feel like once we get a base and we start talking about Mars, that's when it might have some more gravitas to it?
I think that
Yeah.
part. I think, and also because we see so many different companies launching, you know, we have
SpaceX.
we have
Blue Origin, right?
Blue Origin, yes, thank you, Jeff Bezos' company. But so they've been doing these things like, oh, we have this launch going and this
Mhm.
launch and this launch. It's
Virgin
kind of
Galactic
Yeah,
is
they have,
getting
like,
in
a
there.
zero
right.
gravity
It's kind of
plane.
hard to keep track.
Yeah.
So this is the first one where it's like, wait a minute, this one is like actually not just going like up and down and splashing in the ocean. It's on
Like
this.
Katy Perry.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so
They
bad.
want to be back here on Earth.
They so bad. We digress, but I think once we do have a moon base and then they realistically start talking about missions to Mars, then I think that will have this similar weight that
Yeah.
it did back in the 60s.
Mhm.
I think there is something to be said for the human desire for novelty, something new, something different,
Yeah.
something, that's never been done before. And we're seeing that in terms of going from NASA to now the introduction of private companies venturing into space,
Yeah.
right? The SpaceX flight where they had the pedestrian, the farthest venture to do a spacewalk. So to your point, Julian, I believe it's more so going to be from the moon base to now we're setting our sights towards Mars. That's where really the discussion comes into like, venture where no human has ever been before. Like that's where like, oh, wow, what else is there out there? What else can we do? Completely changes the conversation. Like we mentioned, there's renderings and discussions around space hotels and things like that. Like, and there's clientele for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people
Set me up.
will pay for it.
Oh yeah.
I don't
just
know
can't
how I
afford
feel
it right
about
now.
like going to Mars though.
That's
Don't
too
you
long.
lose like 7? Isn't like 1 year like 7 years on
Or
Earth,
something
something like that?
Yeah, it's too long.
Or is that science fiction? Like we don't know. Or
There
maybe do
is
we do?
relativity with like black holes. I know there
I
is
think-
the relativity of time, not time
Right.
travel, but the
Right.
relativity of how time passes.
Mhm.
But I don't know the facts when it comes to Mars. But it's a long distance. It's like months to get there.
It's too far.
Mhm.
D-
It's
you-
too far.
It's just too far.
Let me go to the moon. I'll be back in like 2-3 weeks.
I'm straight with that. And like honestly, if I can't even get to the moon base, I will be fine because I imagine like if they're selling the moon base package up here,
Mhm.
that means like the Blue Origin package of like just going up into like kind of like shallow outer space is down here. I'll take the economy option of
There
just
you
going
go.
up
Store
right.
brand.
Let me get the Kirkland space space trip.
The
You got that?
Kirkland flight to
Or
outer
in orbit.
space.
It comes with flight and a bag of peanuts.
Hey.
Okay. I might not get the full meal that you get at the moon base, but I'll get a soft drink, some peanuts. That'll be all right.
That's it.
Here we go. I think we've bored Annie to the point of
It's been a
exhaustion.
long day, y'all.
It has been a long
It's been a
day.
very long day.
But hey,
I'm tired.
look, we got more things coming up on Morning Edition so that Annie does not get too tired. Coming up, we're also talking about this Oracle laying people off, huge layoffs here. And it has a tie to AI. We're going to talk about that as well. And FIFA World Cup. We are months away from things kicking off here. The World Cup in Mexico, United States, and Canada, and ticket prices are soaring. We're going to talk about that coming up on Morning Edition. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back into Morning Edition. We talked about this. This is a huge story. The Oracle layoffs. And to give everybody a little background here, Oracle laid off thousands of its workforce through massive job cuts that reportedly impact, get this, 30,000 employees globally amid their push to gear more towards artificial intelligence.
Mhm.
There's employees in the United States, India, Canada, Mexico. They started getting their job termination emails on Tuesday about 6 a.m. So it's the largest layoff in the company's history. Obviously, some people didn't take it well, but I think the bigger thing is that we've kind of talked about it for a while. Like, is your job safe with AI? And this is one of the things where you're going to see some of these companies start to trim their workforce because they need to save money. And if your job can be offloaded to AI, right? I mean, it's a real thing, guys. We're seeing it happen in real time. Oracle, a huge company, making huge layoffs.
This doesn't bode well for because I think that we talk about AI pretty much every single day. We all use it in some way, shape, or form, some more than others. You might not even realize that you're using AI anytime that you're on the internet.
If you've Googled something recently, you've probably been using
literally
AI.
That summarization, AI, you've already used it. But it's thrown around a lot in fear terms, but this is the reason why. And so many people like, oh, AI is coming for everyone's jobs, and then you have other experts that is like, no, you still can't replace the human element, and that is still true. But stories like this don't really help people feel a lot better, right?
Oh no.
So yeah, you hate to see it, and also getting an email at 6 a.m. I know it's a global company, so they can't be thinking about everyone's time zone, but like, who wants to wake up and see that thing first thing in the morning?
And the timing is I mean, the framing of the timing is not good, coming off of a very successful quarter, doing $17.2 billion revenue growth, 44% cloud growth rather. The thing that you mentioned about AI coming for your jobs, it depends on the job. And what you're seeing is a lot of the development with AI is what they call agentic AI, which is AI that can prompt itself and it can do work on its own.
Oh, wow.
We are familiar with the traditional prompting AI that doesn't do anything unless you ask it to, like a Google search or a Chat GPT, one of these models where you say something to it and it gives you an answer. What they have now is agentic AI is like, I want an outcome. I want to go to Bali, and then it's going to search for those flights, find the cheapest flight, show me the flight, and book it for me, and just give me the pay stub in my inbox. That's where we've gotten to with AI.
Wow.
And to your point with is our job safe? I've heard this time and time again, and I'm starting to embrace and believe it, that AI won't take your job, but the person that understands it will. And what they're seeing is the increased productivity of their workforce. So one person could do the job of 4 people if they know how to deploy the AI in an effective way. And that's what makes it dangerous.
One of the things that you've kind of started dabbling in, I have too. It's crazy how quickly things move, but Claude has been so good. People are literally building bots right now to do their job for them.
Correct.
And do the jobs of others.
Like
and that's
physically?
Yeah.
Like an actual
I mean,
robot
like,
that scary face and everything?
We'll literally go through your whole entire inbox, generate leads for you, email those leads out. Like, you're sitting back, and Claude is actually powerful enough where you can give it control of your PC, and it'll do everything on, like, it can go through everything on your PC and do the work
That's
for you.
insane.
Yeah.
I mean, so when Ted's talking, I mean, like, Ted, go ahead. Like, here's your on-ramp.
Well, simple case scenario. Think of it as a download folder on your computer. You download a file on Chrome, and then you use it, and you have that folder there for years.
Right.
Just playing around with Claude Cowork, it took my folder, broke it down into categories: personal, business, legal. It even showed me all my duplicate downloads and put that in a folder, and identified I could save 100 gigabytes of space on my computer.
And how long did it take Claude to do that?
Oh, about 15 minutes.
And how long would it take you to do it if you had scrubbed through your whole entire download folder?
Oh my gosh, we're talking
Hours.
4 or 5 years worth of downloads that I haven't really touched or looked at or organized.
So when you're talking about the administrative work, and that's what Oracle's kind of looking at, is some of these things that like you're paying somebody to do, and they looked at. And again, Ted, you mentioned it doesn't feel good coming off of a quarter where they were very successful, but I want to give everybody some numbers here. So analysts wrote in January, the company could get up to $10 billion in incremental free cash by cutting 30,000 employees. So when they're projecting 30,000 employees cut, $10 billion in savings. And if you're not losing any work and you're able to offload that in AI, what company you're telling me right now would not take $10 billion? I understand people are losing their jobs. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I also understand it from like, okay, our fiduciary responsibility to shareholders, like $10 billion? That's a lot of money.
That's wild.
Right? Yeah.
What happens though if, they don't end up saving that amount of money?
I mean, if your projection is 10 billion and you hit it 7,
either way you're going to save money,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But
Not
also
to do the
at what
Artemis punch,
cost?
shoot for the moon, even if you miss. You land among the stars, right?
stars. In this case, it's just billions of dollars.
Right.
Oh man, we didn't save 10, but we saved, 5. But yeah, 30,000 is not a small number.
it's not. It's not.
I think 12,000 of them were in India, but again, a worldwide workforce that's really dealing with the repercussions. Some of them were same day firings, where like you get that email in the morning, and you're
that's
done
harsh.
that day. Yeah, so your life could change in an instant. But this is, and this is where we've seen the trend going. So you think of certain industries that are more susceptible to AI implementation, right? We've seen lower hirings when it comes to computer science majors, which is amazing to think about, because computer science and computer engineering was a degree that was a high-paying
And they said
degree.
this was going to be the one that's going to lead you into the future.
Correct. Now, I will say, from my understanding of AI, a computer engineering and computer science background makes you a dog
Of
with the
course.
current models.
Right.
And you are highly effective at that. But it's the entry-level positions that are getting done away with, right?
To your point, Ted, like, who understands it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have a computer science degree and you understand AI, okay, well that just made you super dangerous.
Right.
But if you're compared to somebody on the payroll who has a computer science degree and doesn't understand the AI, or you're one of those people like, I'm not going to buy into it. I don't want to, give my information over that. I don't want to even bother learning it. You're probably going to get left behind.
Yeah.
Regardless of what industry you're in, unless you're even like when you talk about, the crazy thing is trades, right? I talk about plumbers, electricians. They are even integrating AI.
Correct.
So it's everybody's got to kind of figure it out and get on the train. Otherwise, you're gonna get left
AI
in the train
can obviously do the plumbing work and the electrical work.
Sure,
but
right.
if you're running a small business, it can help you with inventory, pay
Correct.
stubs, like literally
Correct.
all the stuff, the administrative work that a lot of business owners don't actually like. Like if you start a plumbing business, you love the craft. You love the trade, right? You might hate your office work. Just let Claude do that for you, kind of a thing. So everyone's using it in some way, shape, or form. But to the computer degree part, that was pushed so hard in the early 2000s. Get your kids in STEM. Get them to do. Teach them to code. Code.
Oh my God, the amount of coding we learned.
I think I just was a little bit too old for that.
Hello, world.
I learned
Hello,
like a
world.
little bit, right?
first
I learned a little bit self-taught on MySpace, that generation. But now it's going to have to flip that you don't only just have to know how to code. You need to know how to code specific things for artificial intelligence.
I would say this, because I do want to put some positivity out there.
Yep.
And, research has shown that to learn a skill to get satisfactory at a skill takes about 20 intentional hours, right? That's 1 hour a day, 5 days a week for a month, or a deep dive on a weekend. But you can learn the basics of AI in 20 hours. It's intimidating, I know, and it's hard to fathom like what to do that.
Yeah.
But you will have like those people who are deep in it, coding this and doing all that. But then you have other folks who it's just learning how to engage with this LLM, this learning model, and just knowing what questions to ask and what it can do. That's enough to make you more employable and protect you to understand it. So just give it 20 hours.
The crazy thing is too, is like you can ask the AI to teach you AI.
Yes.
Like you can help me be better at writing, and it'll tell you. Like I like to be. This is how I like to be spoken to. Like it'll literally tell you.
If you could just say please and thank you a little bit more often, that would be
when
great.
the AI revolution comes, they're gonna remember who
They're
said
gonna
please and
remember
thank
who
you.
said
Actually,
please and
don't say please and thank you. It takes up computing power. Waste of time.
But what about the
I'm gonna say
robot
please and
revolution? I'm
thank
still
you.
going to say thank you.
Right. All right, morning edition. Coming up, we still have to talk about the FIFA World Cup tickets. We're talking about that on the other side of morning edition, and we'll wrap things up. Stay tuned. Welcome back into morning edition. We're talking FIFA World Cup and how quickly, guys, I guess tickets have flown up in price. The top ticket price to the World Cup final is now $10,990. It jumped up from $8,680. So FIFA first sold tickets after the tournament draw in December. But ticket prices are just shooting up right now. I don't believe there's any ones left for the USA matchups. And for the opener, I think it was between Mexico and South Africa. The only seats left available are $3,000 seats.
Wow. And they probably suck too.
Oh, yeah, you're new. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, it's great that we have. I just feel like it's not affordable. I don't know if it's supposed to be affordable, but I mean, like,
I don't know.
It's crazy.
I'm just now getting into soccer since FC has moved here.
Yeah.
I hadn't really followed it. I've always been a college football, NFL kind of person. So I've never honestly looked at tickets for soccer, but I feel like it's such a beloved game internationally, right? Like so many other countries, like that is their sport because they don't have football and baseball, and we have so many sports here in the US. I feel like, to me, from the outside looking in, it feels more like a people's sport. Like there's just so many people who can go and enjoy. But then when you have ticket prices like that, it just makes it not the people's game anymore. And I could totally like be talking out of left field, but that's just my perception of it.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
No, absolutely. A lot of us are. Well,
It's so expensive.
It's really to be there in the atmosphere. I was just looking for many folks here in Charlotte if they're looking to attend a match. June 15th, Spain versus Cabo Verde. I don't see the ticket prices on here. I'm trying to get there, but like, if you're a fan of Spain and you want to watch them, you talk about the road trip to first get there, and then the tickets themselves, and then the hotels because you're probably going to stay the night, at least one night, and then eating out. Like you're looking at. No joke, you're looking at a Walt Disney World vacation to go see a soccer game. That's the price that you're going to be paying. And that's just not feasible for a lot of folks to just do off the bat if you haven't been saving for this for years.
True.
Right.
True. I mean, a lot of countries' fans don't necessarily live in that country. I mean, I know. I mean, how many people here, cheer for Spain or for Real Madrid or Manchester United, whatever. But this is different because this is not individual clubs. This is the World Cup. But case in point, you don't always come from that country, but still, it's just really expensive.
And I think on the resale market, they are going for lower. I'm looking at another article here that says that there are some tickets going for $277.
Oh, that's not
$220. Nice. But I mean, just take a look at the section that they mentioned. This is one that's going for. They found at the time of the publish of this article yesterday, a game between Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde. $185 at Energy Stadium in Houston. But listen to this section. Section 645. So can you imagine how high up you are in section 645?
You're going to need to bring your binoculars.
But I'm in there.
But you're in there.
But I'm in there.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's obviously tickets are going really high. There are some reports of some cheaper tickets that may roll out through FIFA. But I think the big problem too that a lot of these articles are talking about, we have these vultures that come in, take the tickets, and then they make the profit on the resale. It's just like,
I hate it.
I don't know a way to fix it. Me too. But that sucks because you take it away from common fans. Like if you're not going to go to the game, don't buy them for the point of reselling them. I hate that.
Yeah. But this is sometimes why we have a savings. Like I'm trying to think of the devil's advocate, right? Like if you're a fan and you've been diligent with your money, and it's like, it's one of those things where the World Cup here, when else do you have that opportunity? So for some folks, it's worth that investment where like, yeah, this is
Sure.
that important.
And I feel like for those people, then they should not have their chance, right? Because they weren't quick on the draw, or their computer had
True.
slow internet,
Yeah.
where they lose a chance to get those tickets because somebody who has a bot, probably built by Claude,
Probably.
that's scraping the tickets and buying them all up.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
like
like
that.
I don't know, people who, work for a living and don't have their phone on them all the time. You know, what if you are that plumber or electrician and you're like actually on a job and you don't have your phone to buy FIFA tickets?
Well,
Stupid
sometimes
bot.
the best seat in the house is on the TV.
Sometimes.
Streaming
Yep, on the
Peacock.
couch.
Give me the hero
Yep.
cam really quick.
Hero Cam?
Because for those who go to the game, make it rain.
There we I don't think they got anything to make it rain with, Ted. After they buy those tickets. Look, that's going to do it for Morning Edition. We'll talk more topics coming up on our next edition. But as always, thanks for tuning in. You can catch us Monday through Friday, 4 to 10 a.m. on air as well on Queen City News. We'll catch you next time.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.